The galaxy was vast, dark, and full of dangers. Among the many powers that ruled the stars, one warship stood above all others. It was the Krylon's Pride, the most feared alien warship in known space. Its black hull shimmered with strange energy, and its weapons could destroy entire planets in moments. To the aliens who commanded it, it was invincible. To their enemies, it was a nightmare. But today, even the mighty Krylon's Pride was trapped. A dense asteroid field lay before them, twisting and turning in strange patterns. Each asteroid pulsed faintly with unknown energy. The warship's advanced scanners struggled to map the field, and even its fastest engines had trouble moving through it. The alien commanders, usually calm and confident, began to sweat. "Report," snapped Commander Vorth, his forearms trembling slightly. His voice echoed across the bridge. "Why aren't the shields stabilizing? Why can't the weapon systems respond?" The chief engineer's claws shook as he typed frantically on the control panels. "Sir, it's not our systems failing. Something else, something external, is interfering." A hush fell across the bridge. The crew stared at the screens, eyes wide. Their advanced weapons, capable of destroying moons, flickered and failed. Lasers died mid-flight. Missiles froze on their launch pads. Every weapon, every system seemed to resist activation. "This is impossible," hissed Lieutenant Krall. "Our technology, it should be unstoppable here." Commander Vorth's eyes narrowed. He had faced enemies before, even entire fleets, and always won. Yet now, trapped in this strange asteroid field, he felt fear claw at him. Something unseen was sabotaging them, something intelligent. Outside, the asteroid field seemed almost alive. Rocks drifted unnaturally, blocking paths that had been safe moments ago. Streams of faint energy danced across their sensors, and through it all, the Krylon's Pride could feel it. Something watching. The bridge was tense. Crew members whispered in fear. "Could it be a trap?" one muttered. Another shook its head. "No, nothing in this sector can match our technology. It must be a natural anomaly." But deep inside, the aliens knew better. Natural anomalies did not laugh, did not plan, and did not interfere with alien weapons. This was something else, something alive. Then, as the tension reached its peak, the sensors picked up a new signal. It was faint at first, a small pulse of energy deep in the asteroid field. The signal was unusual, patterned, intelligent, unlike anything they had seen. "Sir, there's something else," the engineer stammered. "A signal, it's not from this warship, it's external." Commander Vorth leaned forward, his many eyes narrowing. "A human signal?" The bridge fell silent. Humans, that was laughable. Humans had been considered extinct in this sector. Only stories remained, whispered by those who remembered the early explorers. The galaxy had long written off humanity as weak, primitive, insignificant. Humans did not matter anymore, yet the signal persisted. It pulsed again, stronger this time, and suddenly the alien warship shuddered. Lights flickered. Screens blinked and died, then returned with strange symbols that none could read. The crew gasped. Even the most confident officers could not hide their unease. Lieutenant Krall swallowed hard. "Sir, the signal, it's affecting our shields. Weapons, everything." Commander Vorth's mandibles clicked nervously. "Impossible. Only a human could have the intelligence, the skill to interfere with our technology at this level. And humans are gone, extinct." Yet the evidence was undeniable. The mighty Krylon's Pride, the warship that had never been defeated, was trapped. Its weapons failed. Its shields flickered. Its systems were under the influence of something unknown. Something human, perhaps. The crew watched in fear as the asteroid field seemed to shift once more. The signal grew brighter, sharper, more precise. The warship jolted again, unable to move as it had before. Commander Vorth knew one thing clearly: they were being outsmarted. By whom or by what, he could not yet say, and then the impossible happened. From the shadows of the asteroid field, a ship appeared, small, silent, almost insignificant compared to the massive Krylon's Pride. Yet, even from this distance, it radiated an aura of control, of purpose. Its engines glowed with energy unlike anything the aliens had seen. The human ship moved forward slowly, carefully, as if it already knew the warship's every move. The bridge erupted in whispers and panic. "Is that a human vessel?" one crew member gasped. Commander Vorth's eyes widened. "Impossible," he muttered. Yet even he could feel the undeniable truth. The humans, once thought extinct, long dismissed as weak, had returned. And they were here, The warship trembled. The asteroid field hummed with energy. And the human signal, once a faint pulse, now thrummed like a heartbeat through the Krylon's pride. No one on the alien bridge moved. No one dared speak. They only watched, and far away in the shadow of the rocks, the human ship advanced, silent, calculated, deadly. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. The small human ship drifted silently through the asteroid field. Its hull gleamed faintly, reflecting the strange lights of the rocks around it. To the aliens it looked weak, almost harmless, but appearances were deceiving. On the bridge of the Krylon's pride, panic grew. Systems that had never failed blinked and died. Energy shields dropped in sudden bursts. Weapons locked and unlocked on their own. Every attempt to regain control seemed futile. It's controlling us," the chief engineer hissed. His claws hovered over the panels, trembling. "Whatever that is, it's inside our systems." Commander Vorth's mandibles clicked in disbelief. "Inside our systems? Impossible. Only a human could do something like this, and humans are gone." Lieutenant Krall shivered. Gone or hiding. Perhaps this is why we never saw them again. The alien officers stared at the screens in horror. Every signal, every pulse, every energy spike pointed to one truth. Something intelligent was manipulating their warship. Outside, the asteroid field seemed to shift as if responding to the human ship. Large rocks moved slowly, forming barriers, then clearing paths. The alien ship tried to maneuver, but the field worked against it. Every move they made was anticipated. Every strategy seemed useless. The human ship hovered silently. Then a pulse of energy shot toward the Krylon's pride. The alien warship shook violently. Screens flashed with unreadable symbols. Warning sirens screamed. Even the seasoned crew, hardened by decades of battle, felt fear gnaw at them. "Shields are failing," shouted one officer. "Weapons are offline. What is this?" The human ship did not fire conventional weapons. No lasers, no missiles, no bombs. Yet the alien ship was paralyzed. The bridge erupted into chaos. Officers yelled over each other, scrambling to understand the impossible. Commander Vorth slammed his claw on the command panel. "Identify the source," he roared. "Destroy it now!" But no one could. Every scan, every sensor, every system pointed to the same conclusion. The human ship was the source. Then, the signal pulsed again. This time, it reached deeper into the warship's core systems. Engines misfired. Power rerouted itself randomly. A sudden explosion rocked the lower decks, though no weapons had fired. Crew members screamed and tried to stabilize the systems, but it was useless. "They're not attacking in the usual way," muttered Lieutenant Krall. "They are controlling the battlefield. Controlling us," Vorth's eyes widened. He had faced countless enemies, rebels, rival empires, even rogue AI. But this was something different. Humans were unpredictable. They did not follow rules. They did not fear. They were clever. Outside, the asteroid field seemed alive. Rocks shifted to block escape routes. Energy streams from the human ship twisted, bending the alien warship's sensors. The alien crew could not comprehend it. Their technology, their intelligence, their experience, all of it failed here. On the bridge, officers whispered in fear. "Could it be magic?" one hissed. Another shook its head. "No, humans. They are something else. Something beyond our understanding." The human ship moved closer, slowly. Carefully, it circled the Krylon's pride like a predator studying its prey. Every movement was precise. Every action intentional. The aliens could not predict it. They could only react, and reacting was not enough, sir. They are learning us," the chief engineer stammered. "Every time we try to fix one system, they adapt. Every defense we launch, they counter it before we finish." Vorth's mandibles ground together in frustration. "Impossible. How can a single weak human ship control a warship like ours?" The human ship sent another pulse. This time it targeted the navigation systems. The Krylon's pride shuddered. Alarms blared. Crew members were thrown off their feet as the ship lurched violently. They tried to regain control, but every attempt failed. Outside, the asteroids moved as if following commands. One massive rock blocked the main escape route. Another twisted, cutting off a corridor of safe passage. The alien ship was trapped, not by weapons, not by brute force, by a human. The bridge fell silent. Officers looked at each other, fear in their eyes. They had faced impossible odds before, but nothing like this. Nothing that used brains, cunning, and unpredictability to defeat them. Commander Vorth's voice was low, almost a whisper. We underestimated them, humans. We never should have. And in the shadow of the asteroid field, the human ship waited. Silent, patient, calculating. Every move of the Krylon's pride was observed. Every reaction recorded, every weakness noted. The galaxy had laughed at humans once, called them weak, called them X. The Krylon's pride trembled. Every officer on the bridge felt it deep in their bones. The massive alien warship once feared across the galaxy was trapped. Its weapons refused to fire. Its shields flickered like dying stars. The crew could not understand what was happening. Commander, shouted Lieutenant Krall, his claws shaking. They're learning us. Every time we try a new tactic, it's countered before we even finish. Commander Vorth's eyes narrowed. Impossible. Only a human could do this. And humans are gone. His voice was full of disbelief, yet fear gnawed at him. The humans, thought extinct, were now more real and more dangerous than anything he had ever faced. Outside, the asteroid field seemed to obey the invisible human hand. Large rocks shifted suddenly, forming barriers that blocked escape routes. Streams of unknown energy flowed around the Krylon's pride, cutting off safe paths and confusing sensors. Every move the warship tried to make was anticipated, countered, and sometimes even worsened by unseen forces. Then, from the shadows of the asteroid field, the human ship appeared. Small, almost fragile compared to the giant warship, but its presence alone caused the aliens to hesitate. There was a strange aura around it, a sense of control and intelligence that the alien officers could not comprehend. The human ship did not fire weapons. It did not attack in any visible way, and yet the warship's systems reacted violently to its presence. The Krylon's pride shuddered. Power surged and dropped unpredictably. Shields flared and died in seconds. Weapons locked in mid-charge. It's controlling our ship without touching it. One officer screamed. Commander Vorth slammed a claw against the console. Identify it, fire! Do something, now! But nothing worked. Every attempt to use brute force, every emergency protocol, every countermeasure failed. The humans were not fighting them in the usual sense. They were playing a game the aliens did not even understand. The human ship moved carefully, circling the warship. Each movement was precise, as if it had already predicted the Krylon's pride's every maneuver. It seemed almost playful, yet deadly. The alien crew could not keep up. They had always relied on power and technology. Strategy came second. Now strategy alone was not enough. They were outsmarted. On the bridge, tension reached a peak. Officers whispered in fear, their usual arrogance replaced by dread. What are they? One asked. How can a single human ship control a warship like ours? Lieutenant Krall shook his head. They are not like anything we have ever fought. Not AI, not another species. Something human, clever, unpredictable, terrifying. Commander Vorth's eyes narrowed. He had always prided himself on understanding war, on knowing every possible scenario. But now none of his experience helped. The humans had rewritten the rules. The Krylon's pride was no longer a weapon. It was prey. Then the human ship struck again, not with weapons, but with precise pulses of energy aimed at the alien ship's core systems. The Krylon's pride groaned. Alarms screamed. Energy surged and died across the hull. Crew members were thrown from their consoles as the ship lurched violently. Vorth roared in frustration. Shields, weapons. Every system. Stabilize now. But it was no use. Every attempt to regain control was met with resistance. It was as if the human ship could see inside their minds, anticipate their next move, and counter it instantly. The aliens had once considered humans weak, primitive, and extinct. Now that assumption lay shattered before them. The humans were clever, fast, and completely unpredictable. They did not rely on numbers or sheer power. They relied on intellect, timing, and an uncanny understanding of their enemy. The asteroid field itself seemed alive, moving in sync with the human ship. Rocks shifted to trap the Krylon's pride between them. Energy streams pulsed, confusing the ship's sensors, making navigation impossible. The alien warship was no longer in command of its own fate. It was trapped. On the bridge, fear replaced arrogance. Officers exchanged worried glances. We are being toyed with, one muttered. By humans, of all things. Commander Vorth's mandibles clicked sharply. He had fought countless enemies and won. He had destroyed planets and fleets without mercy. But now he realized something horrifying. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were not like any other species. The human ship continued to circle, silent and patient. Each pulse of energy, each subtle movement seemed to dismantle the alien warship's confidence. The Krylon's pride could not move, could not fight, could not escape, and yet the humans did not destroy them outright. They controlled, they observed, they waited. Vorth's voice was low, filled with a mix of awe and fear. We underestimated them. Humans are not weak. They are something else, something dangerous. The alien crew stared at the small vessel in disbelief. The galaxy had laughed at humans once, called them extinct, called them insignificant, but here they were. The humans had returned, and they had already changed everything. Outside, the asteroid field pulsed with energy, the human ship's silent dominance clear. Inside, the alien warship's crew struggled to comprehend the impossible. The battle was not yet over, but for the first time in its long history, the Krylon's pride was fighting for survival, and the humans were in complete control. The unexpected war had just begun. The Krylon's pride shuddered violently. Every pulse from the small human ship sent surges through the massive alien warship. Shields flickered and groaned. Weapons failed mid-charge. Alarms screamed across the bridge. The alien crew struggled to keep control, but every system seemed to betray them. Commander Vorth slammed his claws on the command console. Status report. Tell me every system. His mandibles clicked angrily. Lieutenant Krall, shaking, pointed at the displays. Shields unstable, weapons offline, engines misfiring. And sir, the pulses are adjusting. They are learning us. Learning us? Vorth repeated, incredulous. Impossible. This is a single human ship, one. How can it adapt faster than our AI? On the bridge, panic was spreading. Crew members shouted over one another, trying to regain control. The Krylon's pride had faced impossible odds before, but never like this. Every attack, every defense, every calculation was countered before it could be fully executed. Outside, the human ship moved gracefully, almost taunting. It sent precise energy pulses toward key systems. The navigation, the weapons, the communications. No lives were threatened yet, but the alien crew could not escape its control. Every move was strategic. Every pulse was calculated. One massive energy burst hit the engine core. The warship lurched, nearly throwing crew members from their consoles. Sparks flew from damaged panels. Engines offline, screamed an officer. We can't move, Vorth growled, trying to regain composure. We are not defeated, he roared. Fire manually. Override everything. Lieutenant Krall shook his head, fear in his eyes. It's no use, sir. The pulses, they anticipate our every action. They adapt before we finish. It's like the ship knows our plan before we even think it. The alien warship's sensors flickered as the human ship sent another wave of energy. Lights danced across the bridge as screens blinked in confusion. The officers tried to coordinate, but every command failed. The humans weren't just attacking, they were controlling the battlefield. Commander Vorth bared his teeth in frustration. Focus on one system. Any system. We must regain something. But as they tried, another pulse struck, this time hitting the shield generators. The shields dropped completely for a few terrifying seconds. The asteroid field outside seemed alive, moving in response to the human ship's actions. Rocks shifted, forming walls that boxed the warship in. The alien vessel was trapped. On the bridge, officers whispered in disbelief. They are controlling the asteroids too, one said. This isn't just a ship. It's a human weapon in every sense. Vorth's eyes narrowed. Humans clever, unpredictable, dangerous. He realized the truth he could not deny. This was no ordinary enemy. This was something entirely new, something beyond their understanding. The human ship sent another pulse. This one struck the weapons control systems directly. Lasers blinked out. Missile bays locked. Every attempt to fire was blocked. The alien crew panicked. One officer shouted, "We are losing control. Every system is failing." Vorth's claws slammed on the panel again. "We must fight back. Use brute force if logic fails. Destroy the human ship." Lieutenant Krall shook his head, voice trembling. "It's not about brute force, sir. Every weapon we fire is anticipated. Every attack is neutralized. We cannot beat them with our usual tactics." The alien officers realized the horrifying truth. Humans did not fight like other species. They were not predictable. They did not rely on numbers or raw power. They relied on intelligence, strategy, and timing. They used brains over brawn. Outside, the human ship moved closer, silent and precise. Each pulse of energy disabled another critical system. The Krylon's pride shuddered again. Sparks flew. Alarms blared. Crew members scrambled. But the humans were always one step ahead. Vorth's mandibles clicked sharply. We underestimated them. Humans are not weak, they are unstoppable in ways we never imagined. The asteroid field pulsed in response to the human ship. The rock shifted again, cutting off escape routes. The Krylon's pride tried to maneuver, but each movement was countered by invisible forces. The humans controlled the battlefield entirely. The alien crew felt despair creeping in. They had always been the strongest, the smartest, the most feared, yet here trapped, paralyzed. The Krylon's pride groaned under the relentless pressure of the human ship's pulses. Systems sparked, alarms screamed, and the alien crew scrambled desperately to regain control. Every action they took was anticipated. Every command they issued failed. The warship, once the terror of the galaxy, was trapped, cornered, and confused. On the bridge, Commander Vorth bared his teeth in frustration. "Focus all power on a single system, any system. We must stabilize something." Lieutenant Krall shook his head. "Sir, they are too fast. Every adjustment we make, they counter it immediately. They are studying us, predicting us. This is not just combat. This is domination." Vorth's eyes narrowed. He had faced fleets, rivals, even rogue AI. But this was different. He realized humans were not just clever. They were unstoppable when it came to thinking ahead, to adapting, to outsmarting a superior force. The human ship moved again, silently, almost effortlessly. It sent a precise energy pulse toward the alien warship's weapons systems. Lasers blinked out. Missile bays froze. Guns locked. The alien crew panicked. They shouted, scrambled, tried every override, but the humans had already anticipated every move. "This is impossible," one officer screamed. "A single human ship is controlling a warship." "Impossible," Vorth growled. "Nothing is impossible, except humans." His voice carried a mix of awe and fear. The aliens had always relied on power, firepower, and numbers. Now they understood they were not prepared for human ingenuity. Outside, the asteroid field seemed alive, shifting in sync with the human ship's pulses. Rocks formed walls, blocked paths, and forced the Krylon's pride into tighter spaces. The aliens tried to maneuver, but every route was anticipated and obstructed. The humans controlled not just the warship, they controlled the battlefield. The alien fleet in the distance, previously confident that the Krylon's pride could hold its own, observed with growing unease. Their sensors picked up the strange energy patterns emanating from the human ship. They could see the warship trembling, struggling to move, struggling to fight, and they could see the humans, silent, small, and terrifyingly intelligent. "Commander," a distant fleet officer said, voice trembling, "the human, it is stronger than the warship itself. It is impossible to ignore." Back on the Krylon's pride, the situation worsened. Another energy pulse struck the engines. The warship lurched violently. Sparks flew from the core. Crew members stumbled and fell as the ship shook. The bridge was chaos. Vorth slammed his claw on the console, trying to regain control. "We will not be defeated by humans. We are Krylon. We are unstoppable." Lieutenant Krall, voice low and trembling, said, "Sir, they are teaching us a lesson. They are making us fight their way. Every move we make, they predict it. Every attack we plan, they counter it. We are not just fighting. We are learning from them, and we are losing." Vorth's mandibles ground together. "We are not weak," he roared. "We are the strongest in the galaxy." Yet even he could see the truth. Humans did not rely on strength. They relied on intelligence, creativity, and timing. They were adaptive, unpredictable, and relentless. A single human ship had turned the mightiest warship in the galaxy into a prisoner of its own systems. The human ship sent another pulse, this time targeting the warship's communication arrays. The Krylon's pride screens flickered and went dark. Officers could no longer coordinate. Panic spread. Without communication, the warship was blind. Vorth's voice was tight with fear. They are not just attacking, they are dismantling us. Mentally, strategically. We cannot fight them in the way we know. Outside, the asteroid field pulsed again. Rocks shifted into a perfect cage around the alien warship. The human ship moved gracefully between them, unthreatened, silent, precise. The alien crew watched helplessly as their ship became a tool of human strategy. In the distance, the alien fleet observed with disbelief. They had laughed at humans, considered them weak, forgotten them. Now every officer knew the truth. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and dangerous. One ship could outsmart a warship. One human could change the course of battle. On the bridge of the Krylon's pride, fear had replaced arrogance. Officers whispered, unsure of what to do. We were fools to underestimate them. Vorth's voice was almost a whisper. We thought we were the hunters, but we are the prey. The human ship hovered, observing, patient. It did not need to attack with brute force. It did not need to destroy. Its control, its intelligence, its strategy was enough. The alien warship struggled and trembled. Its crew panicked. Its fleet far away trembled. The unexpected battle had shifted completely. The humans were no longer just a threat. They were in command. And the galaxy had never seen anything like it. Commander Vorth stared at the small human ship and whispered, This is only the beginning. Humans are not extinct. Humans are unstoppable. The alien warship, once feared across the stars, had been bested, not by firepower, not by numbers, by the brilliance of a single human mind. The galaxy would never forget this day, and the humans had only just begun. The Krylon's pride floated in the heart of the asteroid field, battered and trembling. Its massive hull bore scorch marks from misfired energy bursts. Its weapon systems were offline, shields flickered weakly, and the engines struggled to maintain control. The once mighty warship, feared across countless systems, had been brought to its knees, not by another fleet, but by a single, small human ship. On the bridge, alien officers stared in disbelief. Panic had replaced arrogance. Commands shouted moments ago were now meaningless. Systems failed faster than they could react. Every attempt to regain control ended in frustration. The humans, thought extinct and insignificant, had shown them something they had never expected. Brains over brawn. Strategy over sheer power. Commander Vorth paced the bridge, his claws tapping on consoles in frustration. We survived barely, but the humans, they have beaten us in every way. Every system, every plan, everything has failed. Lieutenant Krall looked out at the asteroid field, his voice trembling. Sir, they didn't even attack us with weapons, just control, precision. They were everywhere at once. Vorth growled low in his throat. Impossible. One human ship, one human mind. And our warship is crippled. How can a species so weak, so primitive, be so dangerous? The alien crew tried to repair the systems, but it was slow, painful work. The human pulses had left lasting effects, scrambling navigation, scrambling communications, and confusing sensors. Every repair attempt risked another shockwave of interference. The Krylon's pride was alive but wounded, and its crew knew it. Outside, the asteroid field was calm again. The strange energy that had pulsed throughout the battle faded. The human ship was gone. Disappeared into the shadows, leaving no trace, no communication, no signature, nothing but the wreckage of what had just happened. Where did they go? Whispered one officer. They didn't retreat. They vanished. How is that possible? Vorth's eyes narrowed. He realized something chilling. Humans did not fight like other species. They did not need to destroy to win. They could change the outcome of battle with strategy, intelligence, and control. A single human ship had bested the mightiest warship in the galaxy and left no trace behind. The distant alien fleet, which had once laughed at the Krylon's pride, now observed from afar. Their sensors picked up the warship's damage, its crippled systems, and the eerie absence of the human ship. Fear spread across the officers of the fleet. For the first time, they questioned everything they knew about humans. "Humans are not gone," said a fleet commander, voice tight with disbelief. They are stronger than we thought. One ship, one human, can defeat the strongest warship in existence." Back on the Krylon's Pride, repairs continued slowly. The crew worked in silence, the usual chatter replaced by fear. No one dared speak of victory. No one dared hope. They had survived. But at what cost? Their pride, their confidence, and their belief in superiority were shattered. Commander Vorth stared out at the asteroid field, his mind racing. "We have underestimated humans for too long. The galaxy will never see them the same way again." Lieutenant Krall nodded. "We laughed at them once. We thought they were weak, extinct. Now we fear them." The human ship, though unseen, had left a mark far greater than damage. It had changed perceptions. It had shown that humans, though small and seemingly insignificant, could challenge the greatest forces in the galaxy with nothing but intelligence and cunning. "Sir," Krall said quietly, "we will recover, but the legend of humans, it will follow us everywhere." Vorth's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "Yes, the galaxy will remember this day, not for our victory, but for the humans. They arrived, they taught us a lesson, and they vanished, and one day, they will return." The asteroid field fell silent. The Krylon's Pride, though wounded, began to limp away, leaving the battlefield behind. But the fear lingered. The galaxy had seen the return of humans, and the aliens would never again think of them as weak or extinct. Somewhere far from the battlefield, the human ship drifted silently through the shadows of space. Its mission was complete. Its presence, mysterious and unseen, left the galaxy in awe and terror. Humans had returned, not as victims, not as insignificant beings, but as legends. The unexpected war had ended, but the legend of humanity had only just begun. And for the aliens who had once ruled the stars without challenge, one thought echoed in every man: